They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. Room here to run. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one good for 33 in the first. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercising before this one, and they're paying off.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Gosh, when you've got Deshaun Watson, Charles, executing a run-pass option, that puts the defense in a tough spot, does it not?
It does, and what I liked is that you called me this week, watching your own video, your own tape, and you said, I think the runner's going to pop a few this week because of what we've seen from Deshaun Watson. His ability to get to the corner, that's where the focus will go.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw, Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Raiders are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start this drive in the air. A dump off here to Bolden. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Second and 9 now from the 21. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. No score after one on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Now they go end around with Adams. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Carr. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. Touchdown. A pair of teammates at Fresno State connecting there. Derek Carr to Devontae Adams. And the Raiders post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. And that makes it 7-zip Vegas. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has match.
Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deron Harmon. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Carlson on for the PAT. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Raiders 14, Browns 0. Daniel Carlson.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick six on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Got him right back in the saddle and said, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Looking for Cooper. That's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Watson off play action. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merritt. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick six to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick six. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Browns drive about to get started. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a play fake, and it's Watson. And that is incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Cooper, the man in motion left. To the air yet again. Watson to the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 39. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. And that's going to be caught by Peoples-Jones. Touchdown, Browns. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Extra point by York is up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll be out of bounds here, a yard shy of the 25 at the 24. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. Well, in tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. It's a step in the right direction defensively here because you're facing this sizable deficit. They're going to need more plays like that. A good sack, though. Good effort there.
And what you're hoping is, as you said, a step in the right direction, and that means it's something to build on. So you get the first one, and hopefully that can ignite them, and now they can make a few more plays and get back into this game.
So after the sack, Carr in Las Vegas with a 3rd and long. And they'll send the slot in motion left. Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Off of play action, it's Watson. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Duron Harmon. And the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now after the INT, it's Carr. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Now Carr. Caught outright by Renfro. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. Looking deep for Adams. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. In motion comes the tight end left. On second down, Jacobs. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. And he'll be out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. An excellent run there coming from out wide.
And we used to consider these jet sweeps to be gadget plays or something a little bit unusual, right? But now most teams have some version of this play in their playbook. And I think it's a lot because of the receivers that are being developed nowadays. These guys look like running backs, even though they're playing out on the perimeter.
Carr keeps it on the sneak. And no signal, but I don't think he got the surge behind center. No, he's going to be kept out of the end zone. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground, Jacobs will get the third quarter started. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
A quick throw out to Adams on the perimeter. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10.
Making the tackle there, Martin Emerson. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
Third quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Now Carr. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw, it's Carr. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Returnable for Grant. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. Going for the deep ball. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here as the run back will leave him shy of the 20-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Carr now on 1st down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Carr now on 1st down. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3. 3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Counter play with Jacobs. Play 3 of the drive not is successful. They go backwards after those 2 first down gains.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Carr. Open man, that's Renfro. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 39. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Carr completes it. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Darren Waller, 39 yards. And the Raiders are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. On the return from his end zone is Grant.
Jakeem Grant on the return. The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
He's got Njoku, his big tight end. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And the Raiders will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
What now?
Now a first carry for Brandon Bolden.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done. and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Carr going to look to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. In motion goes the tight end. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. He'll look downfield for Waller. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Jakeem Grant on return. The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 9-yard line.
What are you doing?
The Browns drive about to get started. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect 2nd half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the 2nd half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And this is caught on the sideline. Are the feet in? They are. What a catch. So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.